gentlemen,
we got brand new competition over here on Leagues Online. Please subscribe to Old School Gamer Live. Bring your gamepad and your pride. The competition's ramping up, and this is where you draw the line. If you got the passion, then you got the time. We got classic arcades. All you have to do is press rewind. From Nintendo, Capcom, Taito to Konami, Midway, Data East, Sega to Atari. Outrun anyone in an ever Ferrari. Become a rad race on any board and don't feel sorry. I'm battling waves of brigades and it feels so gnarly. I'm jumping through hoops and circuses just like Charlie. My killer instinct, bashful and spectator lobbies will ruin the party. Turtle shells all over your body. We got King Creole brings the stress, no quarter brings a test. Bring your A game, shut your mouth enough and less. Here's the quest, are you ready for the competition? Recognition on leaderboard beyond our comprehension. Be that one, be that number one guy who will decide on Old School Gamer Live.
Welcome everyone to another amazing episode of Old School Gamer Live. It's a special episode tonight with a very special guest, Warren Davis. We are excited to bring him on. As usual, we got these usual suspects laying around. What's going on, guys?
What's going on? Happy Thursday.
How in the heck you doing, Ryan? You look like you got worked over a little bit there earlier today, huh?
Yeah, I slipped on the ice. We had today off from school, and I slipped on the ice. So I'm going to hang out until you guys get Warren going, then I'm going to disappear on you guys.
Hey, get some
That's
Epsom salt, Ryan. Get some Epsom salt.
Yeah. Take it easy. I know you will. Ryan, let's get you out of here real quick. Let's fire off straight to the magazine update, guys. Ryan, what do you got, my friend?
Okay, let's see. Let me pull what I want to show you guys here. Hold on. Let's see. Share screen. Window. There we go. That's showing up there. There we go. Oh, is it showing? How do I? That's not showing me real well.
No, here we go.
There we go. Okay, that's what I want to see. This is a special issue, a special tour issue of Old School Game that literally went to the press about 4 or 5 hours ago.
Nice.
Primarily available at the cons, will be available in our store to buy separately for a couple bucks. But it's an issue that we put out. It's only 20-some pages long, but it's kind of a tease of what the magazine's all like. So, yeah, a little plug there for Old School Gamer Live.
Nice.
A couple articles that we published other places, but also some very unique stuff that we've done. This is something I've been working on, the top 10 arcade games. Me and Tristan are working on a book similar to what Brett Weiss has done in the console stuff. So this covers a little bit about memories and special stuff about some of the games. Of course, our sponsors. This one I had fun writing with Jared. I seem to have tag team on about everybody else, it seems like, on this one. About retro computing. While some of us were playing on our Intellivisions, other of us, including myself, were playing both on the Intellivision and our Apple IIs back in the day. Computer at 1.5 megahertz with, what do we have? 64K, 128K of RAM.
That was big too.
That was a big deal, man.
Bulletin board
was a big
systems.
deal.
We got into those a lot. And then Brian Hall, who we've had in here talking a little bit about Argon. So
Nice.
that special issue is available at the cons. You'll need to stop out and visit us at one of those to pick up a free copy of that and make sure you're in our list of people that get the regular issues of the magazine too. So that's the big thing I've been working on. Got that out the door. The March issue is going to be going out the door next week. We'll give you a little bit of a tease of that. I think the paid subscribers will already have access to it by the time we get together next Wednesday or next Thursday. But we'll talk you through that a little bit then.
Okay, very, very cool.
Nice.
Let's talk about where Old School Gamer is going to be this year, guys. A lot of the locations right here we have on the website. Let's talk about some of these here real quick, Ryan.
Okay.
First of all, go ahead.
First big event for us is Planet Comic-Con. I don't think you guys will be joining me for that one, but it's a traditional Comic-Con format. We're one of two major things there that are in video gaming arena. They have an esports arena, then we're doing the retro esports arena. That'll be fun. 80,000 people in Kansas City. If you think you want to come by, hey, even if you think you might want to help us out, I might be able to get a pass for anybody out there if you're in the Kansas City area. Email me, and I'll see what I can do. Then we go on to one of my favorites. This one is going to be a freaking blast.
Yeah, we'll be there.
The Midwest Gaming Classic. I've been going to the show for 15 years, and I'm gonna have some people come up to have fun with me. Why don't you tell them a little bit about what we're gonna do concerning the whole live YouTube stream there?
We
What
are
we're streaming about.
Well, we are. This is where we're going to put together our live tournament/interview booth situation, and we're also going to have a walking interview situation as well. I got some stuff planned. We're going to have a lot of fun at the Midway and the Midwest
Looking
Gaming
forward to
Classic. So I was going to say, Ryan, you've been going to this thing before it was even a classic, then, huh? It was back when it was the regular games. Back when
No,
we were new.
not quite that. It actually started out 20-ish years ago as a Jag Fest, just about the Jaguar.
Oh, really?
Never knew that.
And I was going to it when there was probably 2,000 people in it, 2,000 or 3,000 people in a hotel. We took over the hotel. They put a tent out back, and there was exhibits in people's hotel rooms. It was nuts. It's now downtown Milwaukee, and 15 to 20,000 people. 90% video games, but a little bit of board games, a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh kind of card stuff and everything's like that. But it's amazing. There's no better way to describe it.
Very cool.
Sorry,
What's the next one?
Columbia, Missouri, smaller show, mainly a swap meet kind of a vibe. We're gonna be setting up some games and stuff for that. Might be able to convince a couple of you guys in driving up for that one. That's a one-day show. Court's Columbia been going to a couple times now. That's off in Columbus, Ohio. That's one thing that our guest is going to be at that one, and it was just announced that Howard Scott Warsaw of E.T. and Indiana Jones and Yard's Revenge thing will be at that one.
That's sweet.
Des Moines Con, we're still working on our negotiation with them. That's a local show for me, 10,000 people. If I've got some local friends that are interested in helping out with that, same deal stands with Kansas City on that stuff. We'll hopefully be running some different gaming stations. Let's see, Illinois Game Con. I can put the news out here. I think the promoter would like to promote a little bit more, but a certain friend of mine, an older guy who wears a referee shirt a lot from Iowa that had something to do with video gaming back in 1981, something to do with Twin Galaxies, is due to be announced as being at that show soon.
Very cool.
Classic Game Fest. You're going to join me down that one, right? No Quarter?
Yep.
We're going to try to do like we're doing Midwest Gaming Classic. That's the show I've been going to. Old School Gamer got its start at that show. I met up with a bunch of writers, and I put it all together at that show, and then we debuted at the Portland Retro Gaming Show. But that's a cool one down in Houston or Austin, Texas, and real fun show. Game On Expo.
I might come to that.
Phoenix, run by John Lester.
Yeah.
And I've got him down. I was texting with him about an hour ago. He's going to be a guest on the show. We'll probably bring him in on a guest maybe in June or July so you can talk about what's coming up with it. And we'll be doing an arcade game auction down there, which we also, by the way, do at Midwest Gaming.
Nice.
Vintage Computer Festival. There are these. There's probably half a dozen around the country. And there's one in Chicago I went to last year. Wholly not prepared for this. Now imagine, okay, you guys remember the movie War Games?
Heck yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Remember Matthew Broderick also in Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Yep.
You know the level of computers they showed there? With the big 8-inch floppy drives and the yeah, there's people there that celebrate these computers.
Oh boy. All
the way through the VIC-20s, the Commodore 64, up to the Apple II. And basically the majority of the people that are there are just showing off their personal collection. They bring it out, they set it up. They show people that are finding ways to do Google Maps on a Commodore 64.
That's nuts.
Well, let me ask you this. Does anybody have an IBM punch card computer? Because if not, then that's not a vintage computer.
Is there room for that?
What's called old iron. They have terminal stations that basically print out, Oregon Trail on a printed screen.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You need a whole room for that.
That's in Chicago. It's a cool event because they don't charge admission for it. They go off of donations. They do some neat stuff with that. So it's a neat event. Portland Retro Gaming Expo. Oh my gosh. No Quarter, you're going to make it to that one. Casey, are we figuring out how you're going to get out there?
Oh yeah, I'm going to be there.
Okay. This is probably the biggest show for the fanatic. For people that are really into this arena. That's where everybody goes. There will be half a dozen people that worked at Atari probably there. There'll be all kinds of different people there.
Nice. And
that's a heavy show. We'll be doing the live format show from that one. Spend planning on everything else rolling with stuff. And the last show on our docket right now is Pinball Expo. We did this show a year and a half ago. Our buddy Todd Friedman, who I believe is probably in the chat, is a big fan of this show. We're planning on going to that. And that reminds me there'll probably be another show for us to announce soon in the Chicago area that my friend Todd is working on.
Nice. Full year. Let me get my frequent flyer miles in.
Yeah, I went and booked airline flights for a couple different ones just recently. It's going to be a pretty busy year for us. We've done as many as 20 shows in a year before. I got to get some other crews doing this stuff because, I love doing these, but they take a lot out of you.
Yeah,
lot of time, man.
I love it.
Yeah, trade shows are not easy. I've been doing trade shows for many years, and you think, oh, I'm just going to stand there for 3 days. No big deal. No. You got to set everything up, and then you got to talk to everybody. It's a ton of freaking work, and you are worn out every single day. But it's a blast.
And then you got to go out at night and have fun with people too.
You gotta mix and mingle.
You got to hang out with the Mortal Kombat guys.
That would be really tough. Yeah, I know Paul is going to be an absolute blast to hang around. He's got to be.
That's where I met Paul. Was at Portland a couple years ago, and where the stories got more interesting, the more
libations.
Very cool. All right. Well, that is it for our tour, guys. Check us out whenever you can at one of these trade shows, and we'll talk about it again in another episode, but not the very next one. All right, Casey, what do we got going on? The latest news in the retro gaming world.
All right, let me I think you got let's see if we have mine. All right, so everybody's been talking about this week. The At Games arcade organization, company, whatever you want to call them, they're dropping a 4K arcade and a powerful rock chip that they're adding into their machine. One of the things that I was telling No Quarter is, 4K monitor for me on retro gaming. I mean, it's not a must-have for me personally, but I'm more interested in that more powerful board. With this board that At Games is putting in this new machine, for a company like that, they're probably going to have one of the most powerful machines out there. For them not having a computer inside, right?
Yeah.
So this is a big deal. There's been a lot of talk about this. They had their National Owners Day, which started today. They are not accepting pre-orders for this, but one thing that caught my attention in the article and what they've been talking about is At Games is allowing you to upgrade your machine. And that's the first time. I don't know if you guys heard anybody else doing that, but that's the first time that I've seen a company say, hey, we'll, for a certain price, you could purchase a board and you can upgrade your existing machine as well, or you could go and buy a new one. So that's been the latest talk. What about you guys? We talking 4K monitors. That's been the thing that they've been pushing. If you look at the media, is that a deal breaker for you guys? A 4K? I don't need it to play Robotron, right? That's just me personally. What about you guys?
You're muted there, Ryan.
Oh, Ryan's muted.
I don't need 4K of 8-bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm same here.
I can imagine making some of the other stuff look good, and that's the next step up on the stuff they're doing. And I hope to get a hold of one of their pinball machines and other stuff too.
Yeah, the pinball.
Unless you're playing the modern stuff, that's not me.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought too. Like, do I need my 8-bit, 16-bit games in 4K? I mean, they look great on the screen that they've already got. I would like to have the more processing power. But what if we do decide to start playing Steam games? What if we do decide, Mortal Kombat 11 looks fun? Maybe we should fire that off. It might be nice to have that screen. I don't know, guys.
I haven't played on the Legends. Are you seeing that when you play the newer games, is it lagging or anything? I mean, you really need the power?
No.
Yeah. Well, on Steam, when it comes to Steam.
Let me say this. I have never done that on Steam. I play Antstream on there, and it plays great.
It plays great.
Yeah, I never have done Steam, so I don't know what the newer games, how they do run on there, actually. So
I can speak on the Steam part. Now, I've tried to run a couple Steam games, and it freezes and locks up. I mean, you can fire them off, but it's not the best performance. Now, Antstream, I was impressed with the Antstream performance on there. It played smooth as butter. Now, I will say the pinball machine, here's the difference maker for me when it comes to pinball. not only are they going to have a 4K play field, but they said that they're dropping 100 4K tables. That's a difference for me. I feel like if I'm going to upgrade any machine, I'm going to upgrade and buy a whole new pinball.
Yeah. Now, these guys make a lot of sense. I would like a 4K screen on my pinball because that is one thing that I do notice is most of my pinball tables are pretty foggy.
Yeah,
pretty faded out. Not faded out, but not very sharp. And so, yeah, I would love those to be a little sharper. That would make it a little more realistic, you know. On the games that it's going to be 8-bit, 16-bit graphics, who cares, right? But on these things where you're trying to simulate a real pinball table, I think the 4K would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
hot news this way. Everybody, if you look everywhere, you go on your YouTube feed, everybody's talking about this new machine. So right now, At Games got attention in the space right now.
Yep.
So
let's go ahead and fire off their video right here for their current sale going. Here we go, guys. So there you go, guys.
Okay, so Chat GPT. I want to be able to play Donkey Kong like Billy Mitchell. Help me out.
Type it in, it'll probably do it, man.
They're gonna say get back in the practice room, Ryan.
You know what we got to do is have ChatGPT do a text-based game, see what happens.
It could solve Zork for you or something, or yeah, okay.
Anyway, guys,
I was like, okay, well, everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. ChatGPT.
There's your National Owners Day sale going on right now, guys. Go check that out. Yeah, that'd be funny to see what ChatGPT. You know, I jumped on there today and it told me that the website is overloaded. Come back later.
Really?
Too many people are using it. Yeah.
To buy?
No, the ChatGPT.
Oh, the ChatGPT. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. I decided to check it out. What it's all about, you know? But it's overloaded. It said.
Well, I see they accomplished what they set out to accomplish because I'm looking at the chat and so many people saying they done spent some money. Mitchell B said they got him slipping. They caught him with the BitPixel marquee for $80. People are losing their money today, boy.
Steven says he's busy buying too much stuff. It'll get you, man.
Steven, I'm right behind you.
Awesome. All right, let's move on to our, where are we at? Weekly roundup, guys, where we talk about some tournaments going on in the community. Polycade has their last of the Asteroids Cup going on. It's going on right now. Get in on that. You got to buy the game, and then you can compete. Well, let me tell you, they got some pretty phenomenal prizes going on this. You see down there, you can win. They have 5 of those awesome new Wallcades going out. It's worth the price. Yeah, so you're buying the game, and you're basically getting a raffle ticket because it's all randomized. So you could win. I mean, it's you got a good chance of winning some really awesome stuff here. On top of that, they are going to have some really cool live tournaments going on at the Midwest Gaming Classic. Go check out their booth. I'll definitely gonna be hanging out with those guys. Ronald, if you're in here, man.
Ronald's in the chat.
Ronnie, I think he's in here. Yeah. It'll be awesome to hang out with him and check out their stuff. MCAP is taking a little break with the At Games branded tournaments, but he's going to be doing his FX tournament still every week. This week is Alien. Get in on that one. You got to have your FX3, but it's on Steam, so you hook up your ALP. Switch. Yep, yeah, and Switch. Yep, you're right.
On Switch, yeah.
Probably a couple other places if I had to guess, but you have a lot of fun with that. Every Sunday night, our pal Gary Ray has fight night. I've got to somehow stay awake long enough so I can compete on this. Sunday night at 8 p.m. ain't good for me, man.
No quarter is turning the pillow over to the cold side at that time.
Yeah, exactly. That's when I should be asleep. So I'm going to have to take some coffee or snort some coffee or something. I don't know. To try to stay awake this Sunday. I would love to be able to involve myself in this because I love playing my Big Blue. All right, Neo Turf Masters is going on this week, guys. It's the Japan course. Deadline is the 28th. So get in on this one. You have to send your picture of your scorecard to Neo Turf Masters Tournament at gmail.com. And also check them out on Facebook, the Neo Turf Masters Clubhouse. We have been having a huge blast on that. And I did forget to put my freaking score in last week, guys. So
I saw you on the boards for one of them.
For 2 of them, but I forgot last week. All right, last game of the week. Last week, guys, was Operation Wolf. Now, unfortunately, there's so many people on this leaderboard that I can't really do a randomize. So what we're going to do is right now, we are going to go ahead and do a giveaway. Let me get rid of this right here and bring on our giveaway screen.
By the way, one thing on Operation Wolf.
Yeah.
No Quarter put together an awesome No Quarter corner for the March issue. You're gonna see a lot more little trivia on Operation Wolf in there. I remember seeing that as we were doing the layout work on it.
Yeah,
stuff I didn't know, and I played that game for
I got real deep into Operation Wolf this week, so everything's Operation Wolf. Yeah, my articles, my everything. So everybody in the chat, type in hashtag OSGL, Old School Gamer Live, and you will be entered to win this week's triple pack of your Old School Gamer back issues. One of the greatest prizes you could ever win, quite frankly, because it fulfills your greatest needs and desires to update your Old School Gamer catalog and collection. So get that going, guys, and at the end of the show, we will fire that off. This week's game of the week.
Oh no.
Is on Antstream again, and it's going to be Pac-Man. Casey does not like this.
Who picked these games? That's what I wanted. Did Ryan do this?
No, I didn't pick that. I do have Billy Mitchell coming on the show sometime in March or April, by the way.
Good. I'm going to beat him live on Pac-Man. This is going to be great.
I have seen. Hey, you guys ought to see Billy when we're at these cons. By the way, I'll let you take it back in a second. You know, Pac-Man has a place you can hide, so he can crash Pac-Man at the 256th level, but take breaks every 20 minutes, sign autographs, go to the restroom, get something to eat, then come back and play the game.
Yeah,
fun to watch.
I'm out. Hey, that's not my. I'm okay, but I see No Quarter. He putting up numbers. I said, don't even involve me with that.
No,
I'm not getting involved.
There's all kinds of controversy surrounding Billy Mitchell and all these different stunts and stuff. But I will tell you, I've watched him on Twitch for many years, and he is absolutely legit. He knows what he's doing. You can't play that long and not be good at it. You know, I mean, he's been playing that game for 30, 40 years now. You know, it's insane. But yeah, he knows exactly what he's doing because I've seen him do it for hours and hours. It's really phenomenal. All right. So anyway, yeah, this week's game of the week, guys, is Pac-Man. Make sure you get let's see if we got anybody signing up. All right. We got 6 entries. All right. Keep going, guys. Keep going. Hashtag OSGL.
And I think No Quarter, you failing. You want to be humble. This boy is humble, but I'm going to say it because I know he doesn't want to say it. But No Quarter has a Twin Galaxy record for Pac-Man on the arcade 1-Up.
Well, I did. I'm pretty sure.
No, you were still number one last time I looked.
Really?
Yeah, you were still number one.
It was only, I think, 181 or something like that. So it's not very much. It's not even 200K. Once I need to learn the last pattern. Once I learn the last pattern, I'll be able to crest 200K and I'll be able to hit the 1 mil. I'll be able to get past 1 mil with that last freaking pattern. But I'm working on it. I'm
practicing, bub.
Yes, it's not the easiest thing in the world, but it's an absolute blast. I love that game.
It's really starting to feel like this show, by the way, is going to – I think we need to start telling people it's going to be an hour-long show because we've been going 25 minutes, having a freaking blast with it. People are enjoying it, and we haven't even brought in our special guest.
We haven't even Davis in.
Well, we're getting to that. See, you're holding me up. We're getting to that. so the thing is we've been asked by many people now to extend it to an hour. I guess we never told you that we actually have done that. We have extended it to an hour. So FYI, Ryan, the show is an hour now.
I'm bugging out.
Yeah, just letting you know. Let's bring in our guest. Everybody's been waiting for us to shut up and bring on Warren Davis, legendary game developer. My friend, how in the heck are you?
I am doing very well. How about yourself, all of you guys? Nice to see y'all.
We're doing very well. Thank you so much for waiting in the green room for us to get through all that.
Thanks for all the free drinks.
Hey, anytime.
No problem.
Send the bill to Ryan.
Yeah, send the bill to Ryan Berger.
He knows where to track me down.
Okay, first of all right, I've been waiting to ask Warren about this for a very long time. I guess first of all, we should say, what got you started into game developing and programming?
It's so funny. I've answered this question a lot, but the thing is, I've settled on kind of a glib answer, which is, I was hired.
It was a job.
Yeah, it's like I got a job, and my job was making games. It's like,
job, right?
I should make a game. But honestly, no. To get a job like that was absolutely a dream come true for me. I'll date myself, but I was in college when the first arcade games came out. My freshman year, I remember them wheeling in, the first arcade games into the student union, and I was just captivated by them. I was studying computers anyway, and I just always dreamed like that must be the most amazing job, to be able to make a game. I always, going back even to teenage years, when I did have access to a computer, oddly, I had access to a computer in my high school, which was extremely rare for those days. But I was fascinated by computers, and I really was fascinated by their use for entertainment. I just thought these, to be able to use these devices to entertain people, that would be a dream. And so, yeah, getting a job making video games was a dream for me.
Do you remember what those cabs were that they rolled in?
Yeah, it was like Computer Space or Space War, one of those. Pong. We had Pong. And then, every few months they'd bring in something else. You know, we'd get Breakout and then Nibbler and Tank,
Nibbler,
and
man.
we just had, you know, they would all come in, and very slowly, like you know, the pinball machines would get pushed away and get replaced with video games. We used to have pinball machines. We used to have electromechanical arcade games in our student union. Remember the old baseball game where, you know, you hit a button and the little bat turned and you hit,
Yep.
you try to get the ball. So that was the state of the art before video games, and it just changed everything. Oh wow! Hello everybody. I'm seeing everybody in the chat say hello to me. So hello
Yeah,
back.
They've been
everybody.
waiting, Warren. They've been waiting for you. They wanted us to
Everybody's
be
been waiting,
quiet.
yeah.
Thanks for being here. I hope I say something interesting.
So what I've been wanting to ask, man, is please explain your process on the video digitizing for
Yeah.
Narc and for Terminator and for
REV X.
REV X and all that
Yeah.
stuff. How did you develop that technology?
Yeah, so I was working for Williams. I had worked for Gottlieb and did a couple of games, and then was out of the industry for about a year and a half. And then I had the opportunity to come back and work for Williams again as 1986, as the arcade industry started coming back from its 1984 crash.
Right.
And you know, something that came out, there were you know, we had Amigas. You know, we played around with Amigas a lot because they had some good graphic tools, you know, things like that. But there was a digitizer that was available, and it was very crude. I mean, very crude. But we had one, and I started playing around with it, and I just really believed very strongly that digitized graphics was going to be the future of video games. You know, the thing is, we kept trying to up the ante. You know, we started out with black and white. You had Pong, you know, then we had blocky black and white. Then we had better resolution, and then we had 16 colors. But then we had Laserdisc for a really short time, but that did not work out. And so we were always looking for the next thing. And the thing is, you know, memory prices were dropping. And so we knew at Williams, our next hardware was going to be 256 colors. Like we, you know, the jump from 16 to 256 was the logical jump. And so, you know, I started just sort of experimenting with the idea of how good can we get graphics? Can we get movie quality or close to photographic quality with 256 colors? So the first digitizer we had was, you know, just very clunky. You couldn't do anything moving. You had to have it on with a static image, and you had like a color wheel, and you'd have this old, you know, clunky CCTV black and white video camera. You'd point it at something, and then you'd have to rotate the color wheel over a period of like, you know, 30 to 45 seconds, and it would create a red, a green, and the color wheel had filters. So you had a red, a green, a blue, a clear, and then the software would mash it all together in a full color image. So that you can get a beautiful image, you know.
So you had no analog camera at all. It just was straight digital camera to the computer.
Well, I mean, I think the cameras were analog. They were CCTV. They were, you know, closed circuit black and white.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was like a broadcast camera then.
No, like a security camera.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
The old style. You know,
Yeah,
nowadays they're tiny, but you know, they had a little bulk.
Big security camera.
Yeah. And you know, the resolution wasn't very good. Anyway, you know, you couldn't use a color camera because of the way the color, you know, you needed a black and white image filtered through all these filters. So anyway, but that was really promising. And then the important thing is that I started playing with what we call color reduction or color quantization. I started combing through technical journals in libraries to find algorithms to reduce, you know, thousands of colors down to a smaller number to get a good representative sample so that, you know, your image looks as close to photographic as it possibly can. And I found some algorithms and I implemented them. And so, you know, a couple of years later, when the Targa board came out, the Targa board is really what allowed us to grab in close to real time, you know what I mean? Good enough that we could freeze frame a videotape and grab a frame of video. The Targa board did not require a black and white camera, so you could bring in a color video image and it would digitize it. The Targa board came with a software development kit, so I could write my own software to control it. So that's where the software WTarg got created, and that I integrated my color reduction algorithms in there, and then that's how it started. And the first game that used it was NARC.
Man,
I played that
game
just the other day, and the graphics are so clean and crisp on it. I noticed it the other day. Like on the ALU, the screen is so clear. Yeah. You can see those vector graphics, or not vector, but those graphics just so clean. Wow.
I didn't know that was the first game that used it, because that arcade machine in my local arcade had all the attention. And I can remember the big red "Say No to Drugs."
Don't do drugs.
Yep, "Say No to Drugs" was on the top.
Sure.
And everybody was lined up, it might have been the graphics, no quarter, like you said, that was drawing our attention.
Yeah, that game was sponsored by Nancy Reagan.
Technology went on to what other games? I mean, we've got the combat stuff. We've got what else was that same technology moved into?
Oh, I mean, pretty much everything Williams came out with. A lot of games. The High Impact Football came out after that. Trog, where they basically did like claymation, and just posed characters and took frames. Genius, use of the technology. And then, of course, Mortal Kombat later on, Terminator 2, Revolution X, WWF, so many games. And the thing is, I left Williams. I had quit at some point because I was working on a digitized game with John Newcomer at the same time NARC was being developed by Eugene Jarvis and Jack Hager and George Petro. And I was working with John Newcomer on another game that got canceled, and then they wanted me to work on a football game. I really didn't have any interest in working on a football game, so I quit and I went off and made Exterminator for Premier Technology.
I love that game.
And then they hired Ed Boon, and Ed Boon ended up doing High Impact Football with John Newcomer.
Remember that?
So that was it. And then the funny thing about High Impact Football, all of the players, their number on their shirt was 88. Because they would flip the characters. So.
I still play that game. I still play that one.
I thought that was funny. Anyway,
I love the Exterminator game. Just has the hand that points and stuff, and you smash or hit flies and stuff. It is absolutely hilarious.
And that also was that I worked for Premiere, and we built, me and a company called Pixelab, which basically consisted of two ex-Gottlieb employees, Kanya Bamoto and Jun Yum. The three of us built that hardware from and system software from scratch, and it was digitized ready. So it was 256 color foreground and background. And then I wrote some tools so we could digitize stuff. And Jeff Lee was my artist for that, and so it was the 2/3 of the Q-BERT team back together.
Well, can we go back to that? That's the era that I got. Yes, I love the games when they got digitized. We got, you get Mortal Kombat instead of Street Fighter, that was more cartoony. But can you give us? I've read this in your book, which, by the way, we need to put his book up on the screen. About a little bit about how Q-BERT got its whole line. Yeah, sneak it in there. There it is. About how you built the game, because you're able to build a 3-dimensional pyramid.
Wait, what are we talking about?
on the original Q-BERT game, the 3-dimensional pyramid.
Right. Yeah. Pseudo. It wasn't truly 3-dimensional.
Yeah, but it looked that big, and how that then you build a game around it.
Yeah. Well, it was. I don't know. It seemed like a thing to do. The Jeff Lee created the cubes. Oh yeah, there he is.
There it is.
Available on Amazon or wherever your favorite independent bookstore online.
But even better, buy it at one of the events that Warren's at. He'll sign it for you. And
yeah. Well, I also sell signed copies online. If anybody wants, if they don't think they'll see me and they want a signed copy, I have a website called shop, all one word, .square.site, SITE. And yeah, if anybody wants, they can buy a copy there, and I'll sign it for them.
Nice.
All right, let's get into Q-BERT. Where did that come from?
Well, so we were talking about that. Jeff Lee had created this screen that filled with cubes, what we call the Escher pattern. It was, basically it's a representation of a cube on a two-dimensional surface. And the thing is, that illusion is thousands of years old. There are tiles on the floor of a Roman villa that have that exact pattern. So it's not like we invented that. But Jeff was just looking to he was actually supplying a background for another programmer, Kanya Yamamoto, who really he just had it in the background. He wasn't doing anything with it. He was playing around with some weird thing where we had the ability in our hardware to swap the foreground and background, and he was just experimenting with that, and he just wanted something to fill the screen. So the book is called Creating Q-BERT and Other Classic Arcade Games. Easy to remember.
Yep.
So, but when I saw that, I was looking. I wasn't even looking to make a game at that point. I was really just looking for, I guess I want to say, something to learn. I was trying to teach myself some technique, and I thought when I looked at that, well, if you carve that screen filled with these cubes into the shape of a pyramid, and you had something that fell on the top, it would have one of two ways to bounce, right? And then, every time it landed, it would have one of two ways which way to bounce. That's binary, 0 or 1. So in one byte with 8 bits, you could actually make up to 8 choices for a ball, and that's the path of a ball from top to bottom. Anyway, so I thought, okay, I'll teach myself randomness. I'll create a random number generator to get random bytes so I can have the balls bouncing down randomly. And then I have to figure out gravity and collision detection. And I had to sort of simulate 3D graphics with with no floating point code processor or trigonometric functions. I had to just basically fake it. That's what we did back then.
That's amazing. Wow.
Once I had the balls bouncing down the pyramid, it was like everybody was like, "You should turn that into a game." And I was like, "Oh, okay, maybe I should."
So that game has some really unique things to it. It's one of the only games that has a diagonal joystick on it, and it's one of the only games that has a physical knocker inside. Where did that idea come from?
Well, that was one of our technicians. We had an engineering tech. His name was Rick Ty, and the game is being developed, and of course, everybody in the office could come by and play it, and that was valuable feedback for me. And so at one point, Q-BERT wasn't called Q-BERT then, but he was jumping around the pyramid. He was avoiding the balls. He was jumping off and dying. And he said, you should, because we had all these pinball knockers lying around. He said, it'd be cool if when he falls off the bottom, you put in a knocker and the knocker goes off. And I thought that was a genius idea. The whole idea being it would be the sound of his body hitting the bottom of the cabinet. So we put the knocker in, we tried it, we hooked it all up. And the thing is, it sounded like knocking on the door, which is not what I wanted. I wanted it to be more of a thud. And so I was a little disappointed, but we kept playing with it. We would, eventually we put these little pieces of foam. Back in the day, if you bought a tube, integrated circuits came in a long plastic tube, and at the very end, were little pieces of foam. And so we put one of those up against the wall, and that softened the sound. And I was like, "Oh, that's it. That's fantastic. Let's do it." So we went to management. We said, "Hey, we got this really cool feature," and they were like, "Yeah, okay. Well, look, we got plenty of pinball knockers. We were happy to get rid of them." But the foam, getting the foam, buying the foam, having a person go in and glue it right where it had to be glued, they didn't want to do that. It would have added too much manufacturing, labor costs to the manufacturing. So they nixed that.
Oh, so it was only in a few cabinets then?
What? No.
The knocker?
The knocker's in all the cabinets. The foam is not in any of the cabinets.
Just the foam.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
that's
foam is what they
hilarious. Just they couldn't have supplied that to operators. Say, hey, here's a little upgrade. Add this for more effect or something. Wow, that's crazy.
You know, I am noticing there's an echo. I don't know if anybody is hearing that or
I don't hear it. I don't know.
I was hearing it. Yeah.
I'm hearing it on my end. So.
Yeah, I'm on my end too.
Boy, is it me that's echoing?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know, guys.
I'm going to bust out of here, Warren. I'll talk to you a little bit later.
Ryan, good to see you. I'll see you in Columbus.
Very cool. See you guys.
Later, man.
All right, Ryan.
Anyway, Warren, thank you so much for being on, my friend.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Have any other questions for you right now, but I would love to have you on again for sure. Now, where can everybody find your website again for your book?
So it's Warren Davis Shop, all one word, .square, SQUARE, .site, SITE. And you can buy my book. You can order a signed copy of my book on that site.
Very cool. Well, my friend, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, and I will let you go. Have a great one, my friend.
Take care, guys.
You too.
Take care.
All right, Casey. Guys, I hope the echo is better. Maybe with the other two guys gone.
He said it was on your end.
Is it on me? Test. I don't know. All right. Let's get on to our next segment, guys. Where is it here? Where is it? Old School Weekly Countdown, where we talk about some of our favorite games. Casey, what is it this week that we're talking about?
So we're talking about shooters this week, and I got some iconic shooter games that is, man, it has been a part of my gaming makeup. So fire it off.
Number 5, what have we got here?
So this was my introduction to shooter games. It was duck hunting. So this game, I tell you, man, I remember going up to the screen with my light gun, pressing the gun on the TV screen, shooting the dog, getting pissed off when the dog started laughing.
Oh, yeah.
That game introduced me and made me love light gun games, period. Any gun game.
You know what's really crazy for me is very first time I saw this game was in Chuck E. Cheese.
Really?
Yeah, I was in Chuck E. Cheese in California, in LA. I think the first one, where it had the 2 stories. I think it was the first Chuck E. Cheese ever. It was a 2-story Chuck E. Cheese. And in that Chuck E. Cheese, they had this Nintendo cabinet with Duck Hunt on it. And that's the first time I ever saw a shooting game. I thought it was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
So was it the Nintendo Play 10?
It was a Nintendo cabinet. I can't remember.
Play Choice 10 or whatever.
It probably was. Number 4.
Wild Gunman. So you guys going to see me talk about a lot of NES games because I had all these, because I had the light gun, it came the entertainment pack. I actually still got my inbox system that I got for that Christmas. But Wild Gunman was the next one. That was another one of those games I couldn't put down. Wild Gunman, Duck Hunt. That's my number 4. What about you? Have you played this? And then if you guys like Back to the Future, you know why this game is on here. Back to the Future was one of my favorite movies.
This is a game that I didn't play, man. I played it later on, but not when I was a kid. Yeah, this is one that kind of slipped on by. Number 3.
Oh man. I got a love-hate relationship with this game. This was the first game that light gun game that I played in arcade. I was fascinated with the Uzis. When I saw Uzis affixed to a machine, I immediately went to it. So Operation Wolf, and I play this right now. I'm actually in a back and forth with no quarter on the end stream boards. But Operation Wolf is at the top of my list. So
I like this one, Custer's Revenge. Yeah, that was definitely that's going to be number 1.
Hogan's Alley was good too, but it's not in my top 5. Shoot, it's good.
You know, one game one game that isn't on the list is a game called, what was it called? Gotcha on NES. Do you ever play that one, the paintball game? You had to control it. You can control your movement left and right with the controller, but you're shooting at the same time. I would control it with my toes to move left and right, and I would shoot. Yeah, I don't know if any of you guys remember that one. That was a blast. I love that one.
They say the echo bug them came out with. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. Yeah, let's bounce you out real quick. Maybe it'll do something. I don't know. This is it's getting out of hand. Test.
Yeah, I don't know what's causing no echo.
I love Spy versus Spy too. I love that game. When I was a kid, I didn't know how to play it. I didn't know what I was doing, but I just loved spending time playing that game. All right, number 2. What could number 2 be?
This game here, Revolution X, and the guy who was a part of this, he just left. But Revolution X was another hot game. It was one of those things, man. When you walked in the arcade, they had a big old Aerosmith stand-up in Aladdin's Castle. Everybody was in line when this machine came out. They had the music, they had the graphics that he was talking about. This was one of the ultimate games. Me and No Quarter actually played against each other at Galloping Ghosts. This is in my top 2. It had to be in my top 2.
It's probably my top shooting game. I absolutely love this.
That's your number 1?
Yeah, this is my number 1 because it has so many different paths you can take, so many different secrets and stuff. It's such a blast when you start getting into the game and learning all the different mechanics. It's been a couple of years since I really was into it, but it has so many different things to do. It's so super cool. Number 1. What is Casey's number 1 shooter of all time?
Terminator 2. You know, that's one of my favorite movies. I still watch it to this day. This was one of my favorite games. The movie game came out. The hype was real. I was in line. I played this. I lost a lot of money behind this game. This is my number 1. I know No Quarter got on me. He said, why is that number 1? Terminator 2 is my number 1 game. I don't have the cab, but I do play this on my ALU. So number 1 is Terminator 2.
Very, very, very cool. I do love the game. It's so linear, though. I don't see a lot of replay value in it, but it's still fun. You know, if you can do some high score chasing on it. You really can. But if it's against Rev X and Terminator 2, I'm taking Rev X all day long. That's just my opinion on it. All right. One last thing, guys. We are going to do a little gameplay here. Now, we had our pal Warren on. He did the graphics for Revolution X, did the graphics for Terminator 2. He also did the graphics for a little game called JOUST 2.
I better see 1,000,000 points.
I'm saying the programming for it, 1,000,000 points. We'll see. Let's fire this off here. You guys have not seen JOUST 2. Let me pull this up full screen here. This is an absolute blast of a game. It is JOUST times 10, actually. You'll see.
Who will challenge me?
Let's see here.
Thank you.
So instead of just having the single, turn the volume down a little bit.
All right, Echo's gone, No Quarter.
Is he gone? Okay.
Yeah, I think you have to after a while in Chrome, because I'm using Chrome. I had to back out.
Turn my volume down a little bit. There we go. All right.
All right, let's see this. Let's see some high-level gameplay.
All right. Figure this out again. All right. All right. So you can change, and I haven't figured out what happens when you change the Pegasus because it doesn't seem to make you any stronger. I'll show you. So I changed to the Pegasus here, and you can get wiped out just the same. So I'm not really sure what the difference is. Yeah, let's make this full screen. Come on. All right. Didn't mean to do that. All right, I got to get the right button here. All right.
These momentum-based games is tough, man.
And also, when you're the Pegasus, you fly a lot slower. So I don't know if you're a little armored or what's going on. I kind of did glance.
Not
there.
easy. Not easy.
I don't even see how freaking slow I am, but I can just barely. All right. All right. Let's see if I use little Joust 101 skills.
Seiko said, ooh, lava bag.
I don't know. That's it. I can do better than that.
They add voice into this.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So Raven said that he never played Joust.
Well, it's very rare game actually. They didn't make very many of these cabinets. A lot of people pretty much think this is a complete failure of a game. But if you're a Joust fan, you're definitely going to be a Joust 2 fan because it just takes Joust and multiplies it fivefold. You have different screens, you got different characters you can play as, all kinds of different enemies. It's nuts. It really is.
Mitchell said he plays this on the ALU. I might have to try it out on the ALU. I played it on the Ant Stream.
Are you doing it on Coin Ops or something, or?
Must be Coin Ops. Or one sauce.
Get whipped, get whipped. Ah! How did that not get him? Well, that's that. So anyway,
Ron, no, it's not a. It's a bring up BYOG.
So there you go, guys. A little bit of gameplay on Ant Stream. We like to show off some games. Now, remember, this week is Pac-Man, the game of the week. Get in on that. I guess we can play a little bit of that while we're in here.
I definitely won't be doing any gameplay.
Do a little bit of that.
You won't see high level gameplay with me.
And I could do a run, I guess. It could be tough on this joystick, but here, let's see here. We'll do a run. We got a couple more minutes left, so I'll do a run here.
Let's see the master play.
Let's see what a goofball like me can do here. I'll show you a pattern, all right? This is the very first pattern to learn on Pac-Man, if I can do it. And I already screwed it up. So much for that.
Some pattern.
Yeah, I already screwed it up. And this joystick is really, really tough to play Pac-Man on. So much for my 181, huh? One thing to always remember on Pac-Man is ghosts can't turn around. Well, they do have a certain time that they turn around. They have different modes that they're in. They will go to a hunt mode. Right now, they're hunting me. When they turn around, you'll see they'll all flip around. They'll all go to their respective homes. Here in about a second, they're going to flip. There you go. They all flip. Now they're all headed to their corners. Red's going to go up to the top red. Pink's going to go to the top left. And right here is the Billy Mitchell hide hole. It only works when they're all up above you. I think Casey's playing this. It sure ain't me playing.
Oh, now you want to. Hey, the bright light got on it.
He did. He got me. All right, let's get through this. I'm going to try to do this pattern. This is insane with this joystick. I don't know if this is going to work. All right, get out of there.
50 for Gen 1? Damn. That's a good price.
All right, here we go. Yeah, I'm using this 8-video hand controller here, so I'm going to just really focus on this. All right. All right, first grouping. We got the first fruit. We got the first grouping done here. I should be able to get all 4 of these real clean. All right. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, this is tough, guys. This is tough.
This is high level gameplay.
Yeah, just super high level here. We're gonna rig up a real joystick one day here.
You need to play this on the Uplay.
Yeah, I should be. I could have got. I could have got him. It ain't gonna happen tonight, guys. I'm gonna get through this and try to. Yeah, I can barely control this thing. All right, let's clear out of here. I pull this pattern off.
So Ichabod, Pac-Man was one of my first video games that I played on the Atari 2600 though. That version. Didn't play the arcade version, 2600 version, which was terrible.
Yeah, the 2600 version is really hilarious.
But I love that game, no quarter.
Yeah,
I was a kid.
Me too. You can play it a lot easier than this one. It doesn't have as many rules as this game does. So the Billy Mitchell grouping, all right, they're all moving back home now. So you'll see they all go to the corners. Now they're all going to turn around. Now they're all going towards me. Now they're hunting me. So the Billy Mitchell grouping system involves living in this central square here around the ghost hole, home, whatever you want to call it. And you continuously move through this, doing this kind of stuff. Now, I don't know exactly. I wish I did. But it's something along these lines here. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Come out, get him, yep.
That was a nice cleanup.
I should have got that fruit too, but I got jammed up there.
Fruit.
All right, might be able to get all 4 of them right here.
So sounds like Ron had been reading the books that we got, no quarter.
I'm sure he probably has.
He said apparently it's not randomized, and depending on which way you go, they go. So technically, you can control where they go. It's a weird algorithm rule I read on.
Yeah, each ghost does something different. The red ghost looks exactly where you're at. The pink ghost wants to know one spot in front of where you're at, so they're looking where you're looking at, not where you are. So yeah, you can control them to a certain extent. A lot of it has to do with you just waiting a second in some entrances.
You wait. You let it build.
So I can wait right there, and then I kind of control them. They're going to get me. Oh, boy, I thought they were going to come in right there.
That was close.
See, now I just screwed up. I would have had them all grouped there if I would have done my pattern properly, but I forgot what I was doing. I'm shooting my trap off.
20,000? Okay.
Yeah, I'm totally screwing up here. What I need to do is try to get to the apple stage, and then I can show you the second pattern, which is the one that'll get you almost to 200K. If I can move up here, unbelievable.
What is he doing? He's me.
It's tough on this thing, man.
There it is. Okay. There you go. See, I hate when they break off like that. Oh, it just throws you off. My dad was really good at that. I don't know what. He must have had the Pac-Man fever notes. So for those of you that don't know, you can get all the patterns in the Pac-Man Fever record sleeve if you got the album.
See, there's quite a few different patterns that people have come up with over the years, and people come up with their own patterns all the time still.
Well,
I might be able to get them.
No port on certain boards.
Yeah, there's this pattern that I'm doing now, which works for the first 4 boards you see, and then I'm going to change the pattern once I get to the Apple here in a second. If I can get there.
Oh!
I don't know if I even get there, guys. We'll see. And if we do, I probably won't be able to pull it off because it's one of the hardest patterns that there is, because there's a couple of really quick switchbacks.
There it is.
So I'm going to clean this crap up real quick.
Get out of there. Oh! Boy,
I might make it. All right, we're good.
With fire.
We're golden. We're golden. All right, here we go.
30,000.
So here's the second pattern. This is really difficult to perform. If I couldn't do the first one, I definitely can't do this one, but let's see how far I can get on at least. All right, this is where it gets tough. Ah! Screwed it up. Screwed it up. That's it.
That's it. You got a group, though.
No, that's it. That's it. Once that's it, you're done.
He said, I'm done.
That's it. Yeah, I absolutely love that game because it's
take some thought, man, and quick thinking.
There's patterns that you can remember, but you have to be able to perform them perfectly. If you can't perform them perfectly, then there is the knowledge of how the ghosts react and how to control them. That is your second tool in battle against them, basically. I don't know what else to say. Your second tactic.
Yep.
So there's a bunch of different ways of playing that game. That's why I've always loved it. So this week, guys, game of the week, Pac-Man on Antstream. Get your scores in, play along. As you see, it's the One Chance Pac-Man Challenge. Now, before we bail, guys, we have to do our raffle. So let's pull that up one last time.
Who got it?
Where's my raffle at? What happened here? Where are you?
Ronan, I want to see you on Antstream. I heard you on Antstream now. I want to see your score. And matter of fact, you better follow me on Antstream. Matter of fact, put your Antstream screen name in the chat. I'm going to add you right now. I want to see.
All right, guys. Here we go. We're going to fire this off. Who's going to win? Andy McDandy.
Andy McDandy.
Hit us up, my friend.
Andy McDandy.
Hit us up after the show on the Facebook page, and we will make sure that you get your triple pack of the Old School Gamer back issues. You can't beat it as a prize. It's one of the funnest prizes. Casey, my friend, you got any final words for all of our friends out there?
Well, hey, sound like the echo's going. I don't know what the heck causes that.
Who knows, man?
But anyway, I had fun, guys. Sorry about the echo. Don't know what was causing all those echoes, but we're going to get to the bottom of it. See you guys next week.
Let's end the show with a new movie trailer for this Pinball, The Man Who Saved Pinball. Let's check this out. We'll see everybody next Thursday, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Have a great day.
Peace.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Tell us everything about the greatest shot you ever took.
I'm Roger Sharp. I've always wanted to be a writer.
Wife, girlfriend,
Boyfriend.
Divorced, actually.
You should be happy. You finally wrote something important.
So you're single.
Welcome to GQ.
a few of us are going for drinks.
Actually, I have a date. This probably sounds weird, but I play pinball all the time. Helps me focus.
Are you any good?
It may be the thing that I am best at.
Why are they taking the machines?
We got busted. It never even occurred to me that the game was illegal.
But for over 3 decades, pinball was banned in New York City.
I want to show the city council members that they've had it wrong for all these years.
Well, you're a reporter? I just have a question about the pinball ban, sir.
Somebody keep these damn kids away from me. We're going to set up a hearing, and we'd like you to come in to testify.
You're going to play pinball at City Hall?
I want to redeem the game.
That is a game of chance.
That is a game of skill.
Well,